Hello YouTubers, welcome back. Today we'll be doing the first portion of a multi-part section on how to avoid cube rotations. So now I consider a cube rotation something where you have to actually release the cube with your hands or even roll the cube like this, but basically anything that involves a Y, an X, or a Z, or anything like that. And this video is going to be trying to avoid those moves. And so, and this section is going to teach you little tips on how to do that. They're all going to base off of, most of them at least, this simple concept that I'm going to go over in this video, and it's called edge orientation. So now if you already know what edge orientation is, you might not need to watch this, but there is something specific that I'm going to explain today about how edge orientation can help you to avoid simple cube rotations that you might not need. So imagine you find yourself in this situation you're in, okay? If we look here at this edge, we know what edge this is. We know that the corners, that this corner is already in place. Sorry, corner, not edge. Corner. And we see that we have this corner back here, and we might wonder what corner this was. We might say, okay, well, through process of elimination, we can figure out that it's actually the white, red and green edge, red and green corner. And we might wonder, if we had that, if we were to move this edge over here, if I lifted this corner up, are these two colors that come up here going to match? Is this going to be another red here? Or are they going to be different? Is this going to be a green here? And do you know, just by looking from here, without actually knowing which of these two stickers are what it's going to be? I do. And as long as I know that that's the correct corner, which you can find out through multiple ways, then I immediately know that these two are going to pair up. And it's all based on the orientation of this edge here. So I'm going to tell you right now, it's actually going to be the same. And the reason for that is because this edge here is oriented. So when I say something is oriented, I mean that it can be solved into its correct position using two gens of movement. So in this case, R's and U's. And as we see here, this edge could easily be put into place using R's and U's. U, R prime, R, U prime, R prime. Put into place. So that means that that is oriented. And if it's oriented, that means that whenever if the corner were to pair up with it, it would have to be solved using two gen as well. So this pair, any pair that has an oriented edge in it, any corner and an edge, can be solved using two gens of movement. If the edge is unoriented, then it might require three gens of movement. Or then it will require three gens of movement. So for instance, this right here, look back, that was a red. This is in fact going to pair up because this was oriented. And I can tell it's oriented because it just requires R's and U's to solve. Another simple way of thinking about it is if your edge belongs in the front left or the front back or the back, if your edge belongs in one of these four spots basically, and it lines up on the right or the left relative to you, then it is oriented. So you see when I say lines up, I mean that green lines up here, or you could think of it, this is lining up as well, although they're just opposites. If it's on the right or the left that it does that, it's oriented because that's just R's and U's or L's and U's. If, however, it's on the front here that it lines up, or the back that it were to line up, or if it's opposites, then that is not two-genable and not oriented, and that would require a cube rotation in order to solve. So this one's solvable. Not solvable. Solvable. Not solvable with two gen. So if we know it's two-genable, then we know that this corner plus this edge must be inserted two-genable using just R's and U's. And so in this case, U prime, R, U2, R prime. Right there, and that put it in. So understanding the simple thing of edge orientation can save you a look. So you wouldn't need to come over here and look at this, which would also be a sort of a cube rotation as well. And it can also just save you a lot of time in terms of thinking and simplicity. If this edge is oriented, then the edge that goes with that must be able to be inserted using two gens as well. That's very simple. This is something that they use in ZZ a lot. So this simple concept is going to be expanded upon the next few videos. Make sure you understand how that works and that you follow the little tips because this will be very important later on. Thank you. Please rate, comment, subscribe.